Tudors is based around the young, charismatic King of England, Henry VIII, when he was the charismatic alpha male of Europe. And the stories are based around the shenanigans of court, and I play one of Henry's shenanigans. I play his second wife, Anne Boleyn. When people think of Henry VIII, normally they have this grotesque figure of this old, bloated, misogynistic old man, which maybe he did become in his later years. But what isn't so well perceived, I think, is that the young Henry VIII was everything a woman could possibly want. He was athletic, he was charming, he was erudite. He was just a magnetic human being, and I think any woman would fall head over heels. He just oozed charisma. I think there was obviously such fire between them. They really pressed each other's buttons, and I think that would explain later in the story, without going, into detail and giving games away, while when the negativity happened, it turned so sour, because there's a very thin line between love and hate, and when you have such passion and intensity for a human being. So it has to have been the real thing in order for what happens to happen. I think the thing about Anne Boleyn is that there's an exotic quality to her. This is a woman who wasn't raised in the British court, in the English court, rather. She wasn't raised in the English court. She was in the French court and the Habsburg court. So she has a continental, exotic quality to her. She's quite a fiery young woman, and incredibly intelligent. So I think Anne really stood out. Fire and intelligence and boldness and just sheer mercurial qualities that, in comparison to the English roses that were flopping around court, she would have stood out, and Henry noticed that. She kept her nerve through the most unbelievably trying circumstances. A lot of strong political figures around her, and a lot of backbiting, and she believed in her man, and she believed in herself, and she stayed strong. She was a very courageous young woman, bolder and braver than I. What people don't realise is his father had taken the throne at the end of the Civil War, and there was, England had just seen an incredible amount of bloodshed. And he can be accused of being a tyrant frequently, but what you've got to remember is the blood that Henry spilled in order to maintain stability was probably of a lot lesser quantity than if he had not ruled with such an iron fist. Civil war was always, I think, at the back of his mind. Hence the passionate need for an heir, because it meant security and stability for his population and his country. Peace is Henry VIII's greatest accomplishment. Young, incredibly attractive, vibrant male with a lot of energy, a lot of intelligence and wit and charisma. The parallels just speak. It's method acting. He's cheating. He's got such intensity. He's got such focus, and you get drawn into it. And so it's easy to play a woman that becomes infatuated with him because he sucks you in. Those eyes, and it's easy.